All right, welcome to the Third Quarter Warriors podcast. The Third Quarter Warriors are the best team ever, and we are the best podcast ever. Happy Monday, everybody. We are recording this on Saturday, October 29th. We're going to help you start your week out right because on today's episode, we dive into Lakers and Nets shortcomings, fantasy free agent steals, haters corner, and much, much more. Let's get it.
Welcome to the third quarter, everybody.
What is this? What is going on right now?
I said, what the hell are you talking about?
What's my package look like? Yo! And I want to pass it to you first because you were excited to talk about the Lakers, it seems like. Break us down. You know, they're 0-5 right now. Not much good. They said they benched Westbrook last night, like came off the bench. I don't really know. I didn't watch a single minute of the game. How was the game last night against the Timberwolves? And I thought they were going to beat them because Patrick Beverley would want to beat them. Maybe I don't know, but what do you think?
Regarding the Lakers, man, I think it starting off. I mean, we played the Warriors. The Warriors are just better than everybody, so that's not really much to say. I think the second game they lost to the Blazers, I believe. Dame went off. And then, I don't know, the Denver Nuggets they lost to. That's another winnable game. They just kind of folded at the end. Anthony Davis didn't show up like I thought he would. And basically, we've been blaming Russ for most of the games, the first couple games. He had played horribly. And then he comes off the bench after AD. Apparently, it was funny because there was a meme that they had. AD was like hanging on the rim after he dunked. Jokic is like next to him or whatever. And they're running down the floor and he just grabs his back. His back starts giving him a spasm or something. Like, this man is dunking and his back hurts. Like, what are you doing?
I saw someone say, "Oh, he hurt himself hanging on that." I'm like, no, he's literally been hurt for 4 years. It's like, honestly, hanging on something helps your back. I feel like he just is injured, but people were memeing him for that, of course.
I thought that was really funny. And so AD was a late scratch, and so I thought Russ went from not playing to on the bench to I thought he was going to start since AD was out, but he came off the bench. They started this Vegas kid. I can't remember his name, but he went to UNLV, I believe. And then he was actually on the Wizards and he was on the Bulls. He's a shooter. He actually shot pretty well. I think he shot. It was funny. This was like the fourth quarter, and he was like 4 for 5. The rest of the Lakers were like 4 for 25. Like, it was bad. Like, guys, again, we're not making any shots. Finally got some life off the bench with the shooter. I can't remember his name. I'll look it up when I get a chance. But saw some life, and towards the end of the game, it was just turnovers. I think they had like 26 turnovers. You're not going to be any good teams doing that. They couldn't get any rebounds. They don't have an interior big man there. Gobert was just killing. And then there were a couple plays where there was a play where LeBron cut and Wayne and Gabriel cut, right? And they just ran into each other. And LeBron missed the layup because his teammates run into him. Yeah. There's another play where LeBron runs into his teammate and they get a layup. Anthony Edwards gets like a left-hand layup, and it's just like, what are they doing? They look like a bunch of misfits. But yeah, the Lakers are a sad organization. They're 0-5. They're tanking for Wembanyama, and they can't get him. So I don't know what's going on here. I don't know what they're going to do. But Russ has been playing. Russ played good. So, I mean, we can't blame him. I think at this point, you might have to start blaming the coaching. It's got to be coaching. Because, I mean, at this point, you know what your roster is, right? At this point, we all know. They can't shoot. So where's the movement? Why are they turning the ball over? Like, we have to change the offense. And I think that's on the coaching. I think this game and probably the last game is on coaching.
Who has the Lakers picks?
I am not.
Because they are excited right now, right? Because if the Lakers finish last, if it's the Pelicans or someone like that, from the Ingram trade, well then they're gonna, bro. If they could have Zion and Wembanyama and Ingram and Steven Adams, that's the most difficult to guard matchups ever.
Yeah, it's scary because if the Pelicans get Zion or Scoot, or if the Pelicans get Wembanyama or Scoot Henderson, that's just, they're already arguably a top 5 team in the league right now. So it's just it's not fair. It's if the Warriors, well, they got Wiseman, but Wiseman's a role player for them. He's not that big of a part of their offense.
Sucks.
He sucks.
He just doesn't. I don't know what position he is. Like he's not really a five,
He
and
wants
he's
to
not.
shoot threes because he's around the Warriors all the time, and he's not good at shooting. Like I think he shot a three in one game I was watching, and it was so bad. And Steve Kerr looked pissed, and I'm like, he definitely is just like maybe very immature right now.
Yeah, like he plays like he thinks he's Wembanyama. Like he's trying to do all this like dribbling stuff and like pull ups and step backs, and I'm like, you're like just be a five. Like that's all you got to do. Just rebound, block shots,
Yeah,
put back.
running foul.
But yeah, the Lakers they look really bad. But the thing is, LeBron looks great. AD like he did sat out this last game, but like he fell on a dunk like 2 or 3 games ago, and that's when he was like hurting his back at first, and then I guess it's just a lingering issue, and he's had back issues, so I don't know. Maybe AD will be healthy soon, but Russ did look good coming off the bench. I'll give him that. Like I think when Russ and LeBron are not playing together, it's better for both of them, like not on the floor together because like they both play the same thing on offense. Like they're both ball dominant distributors. And when LeBron doesn't have the ball, like LeBron will cut to the basket, he'll do some stuff. But when Russ doesn't have the ball, he literally just sits in the corner and you don't want Russ shooting threes, so it doesn't make a lot of sense. But yeah, I mean, that's the roster you get when you're paying $48 million to a six man. Like
Yeah.
you got to start Lonnie Walker, who didn't get playing time on the Spurs, and you're bringing this guy Matt Ryan, who was not even in the G League 2 years ago, off the bench to shoot threes. Like you just don't have any money to pay anyone.
The thing is, I like both of those guys as like a 7 to 10 minute player off the bench to give people a breather or foul trouble. Like I like Walker's energy. He's like solid at like everything, not great at anything. Matt Ryan, obviously, he can just shoot. That's literally it. I like both of them to like come in and play small roles, not like we need it from you guys tonight. We need 20 from Lonnie and 15 from Matt Ryan to have a hope. And I'm like, that's not good.
Yeah, like they've got this like aging core of stars, and then they've got like 8 developmental guys surrounding them. It's like it's not pretty right now.
Wait, Ant, who is the guy you were talking about that started last night?
Troy Brown Jr. He used to play for the Wizards.
Oh, he went to Oregon. Okay.
What happened? What happened to Malik Monk? Did he just get a lot of money somewhere else?
No, I don't think he got a lot of money. I think the Lakers just didn't want to
We
pay
could
him.
use him. He could actually shoot well.
Like
Yeah, everyone was like, Lonnie Walker is their replacement. I was like, no, he doesn't shoot
How
as well.
about keep Lonnie Walker, keep Malik Monk, don't have like Matt Ryan or Wyndon Gabriel. Like I don't know that he's done anything.
They did the same thing with Caruso 2 years ago. Like, why don't they keep their good players? I don't get it.
I don't understand either. I again, the problem with the Lakers, I think, is continuity. I mean, you can see it like in other teams that stay together, like they play well together. It's easier for you to get on guys that you've been around with for years. Whereas a new guy comes in, let's say LeBron yells at him once, he might shut down for maybe a game. Or you know what I'm saying though. Like they just like they don't receive it the same way as someone who's been in the trenches with him for however long.
And Austin Reeves, I think he will be a good player. I think he's an okay player right now. I think he's scared to make the wrong plays. Because, like, there's that one video that was a meme a while ago. LeBron, like, explaining stuff to him, and he was like...
He's like, what? Apparently LeBron had like described like some crazy thing. He's like, when they like backdoor and he shows up and he shows his hand, this guy's going back, so you got to be there. And he's like, I don't know that, but okay. Like, that, LeBron.
Yeah, I think LeBron's in his ears saying stuff like that all the time, and he's like, bro, I wasn't even like a high draft pick. Like I'm trying to just get my bearings in the NBA. Like I'm not thinking about these things yet.
He's like, they told me if I shot and defended, I could stay on the team.
So yeah, I mean, but the Nets, they don't look a lot better, honestly.
What do you guys think the Lakers' record will be at 20 games? They're 0-5 right now. VVS, what do you think their record will be?
Let me
I
see.
don't think they stay this bad, but I think so. They got 15 games left. I think they win out of these 15 games. I think they go. It's either 5-10 or 6-9. Like
So
I'm
they'd
gonna
be
say 6-9. I'm gonna go on the positive end. So I'd say 6-14.
okay. And how about you?
Okay,
We
well,
play the
I'm kind
Nuggets
of.
tomorrow, by the way.
So they're gonna at least be 0-6. I'm hopeful they're 0-6. Like, this is just for me though. I want to see what like ESPN says. Like once they go 0-6. After that, they play the Pelicans and then they play the Jazz. So they'll probably lose to the Pelicans. I hope again. But then they're gonna beat the Jazz and then they're gonna turn around. So I say we're gonna go. You said out of 20 games, we'll probably go.
Well, there are 15
Three.
games left, and they're 0-5.
They're 0-5. Okay, so after 20 games, they will be 3-17.
3-17.
Okay.
So we're going
Okay.
literally like
Wait.
all-time worst team ever.
Wait.
I was gonna say 10-10.
Wait. So you said they were going to turn it around after the Jazz. What does turn it around mean?
Turning it
Well,
around,
but-
like beating the Jazz and then turning it around and losing.
Everyone's gonna be like, the Lakers are back, and then they're gonna get blown out by the Cavs. You know how ESPN goes; they'll rout the Jazz, like beat them by
Yeah.
30.
Wait. We
Almost
gotta look
like
at. Hold on.
6 from 3. Like Russell have a great game off the bench with like 20, and everybody be like, "Are they back?" And then they'll get blown out by the Cavs. Next
Man,
game.
I'm looking at their schedule. It does not look friendly.
Well, bro,
not
the NBA
favorable.
is just good right now. That's all. Like,
It is.
unless you're playing the
Yeah.
Pistons or like Ants Magic,
Yeah, but-
Pistons or Ants Magic, you're not gonna.
Leave my young teams alone, man. I'm waiting for them to come out of the shadows.
Ed's
I'm a
getting on the
wild
women
fan.
Yama. Ed's getting on the women Yama bandwagon early. He's rooting for the tanking teams now.
Bro.
So when women Yama comes out, no one can say he was on the bandwagon, jumping on the bandwagon.
Bro, is this the first time in a long time that like the Kings haven't been the worst California team? They're 0-4 though, so like they might be worse.
I mean, they're as bad as they can be, and they might not be the worst.
They're not gonna be the worst.
That's
But like
crazy.
looking at the Lakers' schedule going forward, Nuggets, Pelicans, Jazz, which is winnable, but the Jazz are actually 4-2. Cavaliers, Jazz again, Clippers, Kings. Kings is the first game where you're like, okay, they'll probably win that one.
The thing is, they got blown out in like one game or two games, right? The Lakers, they've had like close games that they're just like not winning because, and then you look and you're like, well, we shot 14% from three and we shot 40 of them. So yeah, maybe we definitely should have won if we could say, oh, we're not shooting well. And not just tonight, we're not good at shooting.
Yeah, exactly.
At
A
some
large
point-
sample size.
Yeah, at some point you gotta like as a coach, you gotta be like, okay, maybe keep shooting only works when you have good shooters. Like we
Yeah.
need to try to work on our ball movement, score in the paint.
What do you guys say about like I know you guys aren't watching all the games like I try to watch every game. Like they're open though. Like and that is the offense that they're like John will understand like some shots you just have to take because they're so wide open in the offense. It's like you got to take him. So it's like hopefully they got to hire a better shooting coach maybe. I don't know what they could do, but like there's some points where it's like, dude, these are good shots. They just can't shoot. And it's like, well, how are you supposed to change your offense that much if they're gonna give you all these shots? I don't know. I'm not a coach. That's something I don't think I can adjust to.
Maybe it is a Lakers shooting coach because like Patrick Beverly is shooting worse than he was before, and like it's the first 5 games of the season, so maybe he picks it back up. But AD has shot worse than he ever has since he joined the Lakers too. And LeBron shot better, but LeBron, it doesn't matter who's training LeBron. LeBron's just gonna make things
Yeah.
work. But like it seems like most players that come to the Lakers shoot worse. I don't know if it's the pressure or the shooting coach or the coaching. I don't know what it is, but like they come to the Lakers and their shooting percentage just goes down immediately. Like it's weird.
Well, I'll give you. I think that's correct. I do think that every player who comes here does shoot particularly worse. I think a little bit is the pressure. I saw Skip Bayless say that like He tried to use this excuse that, oh, well, like he's shooting more, right? So let's say, you're in Minnesota, you're shooting 3 a game, and now you're in LA and you're shooting 7 or 8 a game. So your percentages will probably be lower. That might be it. There's also that the LeBron, if you're not a great shooter, right? Guys who can shoot in traffic, I would say traffic meaning like guys in your face. Because he needs knockdown shooters. Like he needs guys that are just like specifically 3-and-D kind of guys. Because there's a lot of times in their offense where LeBron dribbles or it's 80 dribble, and it's like late shot clock, and LeBron just kind of like throws it to you. So it's like you got to just get it up there. So I think a lot of their shots are also low percentage shots because they're usually guarded pretty heavily. And LeBron does this thing. He's only done it like I think in the last couple of years where it's like, Brian, like 6 seconds left on the shot clock. He just chucks it to you. Now it's like your problem type shit. And I only think he's done it in this last like year and a half. That's not his game. He's never really put his players in positions like that. And I think it's just the offense. So I think it's more of a coaching thing and pieces that are around him.
Beverly, I'm looking right now. He actually shot more threes the past like 5 years than he's shooting this year. But he's just shooting half the percentage right now. Okay, so like he's used to shoot. He shot actually his whole career he shot more. He shot 5.8, 4, 5, 3, 4, and now he's shooting 3.4 per game, but he's just shooting the lowest ever. Like last year was his lowest, 34, compared to like pretty much almost 40% the rest of his career, and now 17. Which is a small sample size too, so we gotta he could get hot a couple games and that goes up to 25 or so, but like he's definitely shooting worse. Maybe it is because they're being created differently than before, like just passed in the offense and they don't close out and he's like, all right, I'll just shoot a 3, versus now it's like you got to shoot it, Pat. There's not much time.
Yeah. I didn't look at like all of his stats. He's actually been a good 3-point shooter for like the last 8 years. So I mean, he has only shot, what is that, like 18 threes this year total. So maybe he picks it up. Like maybe he shoots better. Maybe the whole team shoots better. I don't know. It's just weird. Like AD has never recovered. Like he's been shooting badly since he joined the Lakers. He just was playing in the post the first year of the championship.
That bubble year, he was disgusting.
Bro, Russ was shooting 30% from 3 last year. I would pay so much money just for him to do that again. He's shooting 12 now.
I mean, 30% is like second best on the team right now, I'm pretty sure, if he could hit that. So
that's so bad.
He's shooting more threes and like 1/3 of the effectiveness. Let's move on from the Lakers though. I feel like we're beating a dead horse now. They suck. Hopefully they start shooting better. The Nets, I haven't watched any of the Nets. Are they like really bad too? Are they having like the same issues as the Lakers or what?
So
Brian knows all about the Nets.
I've watched every Nets game so far, at least a piece of it, because I love to hate on Ben Simmons. It's like my favorite thing. So the Nets, the thing is, KD and Kyrie actually both look good. Kyrie's first game, he didn't look good, but since then he's been really good. KD looks like KD always has. He's shooting great. He's making plays. Like he's playing great. Ben Simmons is like a pure detriment to this team right now. Like it's amazing to watch because you'll watch them play. He's in the starting lineup. You'll watch them play. They'll go down by like, 5-10 in the first quarter or whatever. Ben subs out. They make like a 7-point run, like immediately. It's not even like, oh, like things need a little time to like, oh, we're gonna slow it down. Like Ben goes out, ball movement is so much faster. Like they have like 3-point shooters in there. They're knocking down shots. Ben comes back in, everything slows down, and they lose the lead immediately. It's like, it's unbelievable to watch. Like Ben Simmons is actually the problem on that team.
We need to come up with like a nickname for him that means like detrimental to his team, detrimental to his team.
Detrimental Simmons.
I was just gonna say, like, I don't understand how that. Do you think social media has like a big? because I feel like before, like 10, 15 years ago, there was never players that were really bad that were constantly playing. Like we didn't have a Ben Simmons that everyone night in, everyone's going, he sucks. There wasn't a Russell Westbrook that everyone's going, he's killing their team. He's shooting terribly. He's turning the ball over like crazy. There weren't players like that. But you think it's because like social media and the fact that like real sports reporting isn't a thing anymore. Like ESPN doesn't report on real sports. They report on what people want to watch now, just because it's so competitive, such a competitive landscape now, like with podcasts, that a lot of people only going to watch if they're interested. So they're like, oh, we got to talk about like the crazy stuff that millennials want to hear. I feel like that's like hurt, and that hurts players even more. So like Russ could go through a shooting slump, and instead of getting through it in a couple months, he's just, that's only thing people ask him about, the only thing people talk about, and it gets in his head, and he continues to play terrible. Definitely the case with Ben, I think, because he was pretty good, and now I think he thinks he's the worst player ever, and he just doesn't know what to do out there. But I think social media has like a big impact on like why there's all of a sudden just players that are terrible, but owners are like, we can't cut them, like they're making 30 million and like they were really good literally 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I think that's a good point, John, that you brought up, because I mean, yeah, I don't think in 2000, let's just go, 2010 or 2012, we weren't like, damn, like this player sucks. Like, no, they would slowly stop playing them, and then they would just phase out of the league.
Yeah.
And now, yeah, like guys have bad days, they have bad games, and we glorify, we what do we do? We just
Chastise them.
Yeah, and then like it's every day. It's what about Russ? Trade Russ? What do we do? You know what I'm saying? And so like that's a good point that you brought up. That's a really good point.
Yeah, I think it is a combination of social media and the contracts that they get now. Like, I think in like the Jordan era, and like I think it started in the Kobe era, where like max contracts are like the standard for high like level players now. Like even like mid to potentially high level players.
Jalen Brunson.
Yeah, like Jalen Brunson getting like, what is he getting? $30 million a year? Like if he was in the Jordan era, he'd probably be getting like whatever the max contract was, he'd probably be getting like 50% of that. Like I think contracts were a lot more evenly distributed back then, and now it's like extremely top heavy and then a bunch of like mid-level exception guys. So it's like you feel like the guys that are at the top, you have like 3 guys that you're paying like 30 to 40 million dollars. You feel like you have to play them regardless because like you have so much investment in them, and all these NBA contracts are 100% guaranteed, so there's no way to get out of them unless you trade them.
Yeah. Yes, I think maybe that has a big impact on it, because it's just weird that all of a sudden we have players that are playing and making a ton of money, but like just suck, because like the owners, as much as we want to say the owners suck and don't know what they're doing, like they watch players for a living and evaluate them for a living. They know somewhat of how to tell, and like if they saw Ben Simmons at a workout and they're looking at him for G League, like to move him up, they wouldn't move him up. But like the fact that he's on their team making money, they're like, we just got to keep playing him, even though like he's having these mental lapses. And same with Russell Westbrook, like we have to keep playing him. We wish he wasn't here, but like we have to. I feel like
they hope that he'll figure it out.
Yeah,
I think social media is definitely like, it takes a bigger toll on players than we like to think it does. Like I think most of the reason Russell Westbrook isn't great anymore is because he's just getting older, but I definitely think social media is playing a big part of it, because like this guy, like he finishes a game and like it doesn't end there for him. Like it never ends for him. Like if he uses the internet, he's like, he has to see people just talking bad about him all the time, unless he just doesn't consume any basketball content at all. Like
I wonder what algorithms are like. So like none of us are famous, but like when like algorithms know us so well, like if something's about me, is it gonna like push that to like, oh, this is John Whitaker, so like this video is about John Whitaker, so we're gonna push this too. I wonder if that like algorithms work like oh, Russ would love to see this. It's a video Skip Bayless talking about him.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it would have to at least like show you stuff that you are involved in. Like Russell Westbrook would have to see Russell Westbrook content. Unless he like literally sees it and does like, do not show me.
Yeah, it's very based on what you what the stuff you like, the stuff you share, and then the stuff you watch all the way through. That's pretty much the three things. So
Yeah.
I imagine he probably doesn't like those videos, share them, or watch them all the way through. So maybe it doesn't. But I don't know. It's just weird to think like there's videos about you, and your algorithm is like, oh no, he's not interested in this, even though it's about him. That's just weird.
Yeah.
We
talk about the Clippers.
Clippers. Yeah, we can.
What are they up to?
So the Clippers. Kawhi is not fully healthy yet, which is something that we've learned. He's sat out like the last 2 games now, and they say it's due to injury management. Like he felt some stiffness in his knee, is what they're saying. I think they're just load managing him. But like Kawhi is not playing every game yet. But when he does play, he looks just like he did before. John Wall looks great, like way better than I expected him to look. He is quick still, like really quick, and I did not expect that, especially
I didn't either. I thought he would be bad because his whole thing was quickness.
Yeah, and he's like 31, 30.
Which is crazy.
He's what?
He's still quicker than like a lot of like you lost this step. I mean, you guys watched him in Washington, like he was fast. And now he lost a step, and he's still faster than most guys, which is insane.
Yeah, he's still probably like top 10 fastest guards in the NBA. And that's crazy coming off an Achilles, a knee injury, and 3 years of just not playing. Like, it's amazing. So, like, they have a really good setup to be good, but John Wall isn't playing full yet. Like, he's sitting out every other game. He's not playing 30 minutes a game yet. Kawhi is sitting out every other game and only playing like 20 minutes a game. And Paul George has been injured, like, or maybe he was sick. I don't know. He sat out a game too. So, like, they're not full strength yet. But I think in like 2 months, when everyone's playing, it's going to be scary.
You don't think any of them will have had setbacks in 2 months?
No, no, not at all. No.
John Wall slipped in the shower and like tore his ACL or something like a couple years ago, right? Wasn't that him?
Yeah, it was him. Like this team is like my favorite team because like Washington sports teams, well, the sports that I care about, basketball and football, are not good. So I have to root for the Washington players that graduate from Washington sports. And John Wall just happened to go with the greatest player in the NBA, Kawhi Leonard, to make up this championship roster. And I am so excited. And Ivica Zubac has looked really good too. I don't know if he's actually going to be good. He might just be getting stats because no one else is playing, but like he's looked good.
Bro, is that how we pronounce it? Is it Zubac? And it's a C?
So like, that's how. Let me see. How do you spell this guy's name? Ivica.
It's Zubac. I've heard. I always hear people say Zubats, and I'm like, bro, how? I guess it's just a different language, but which makes sense. I'm just an idiot, but it's just crazy to me.
It's like I think it is Zubats, and like it's like Pirtle.
Yeah,
like,
that sounds weird.
Like these names are just when they're spelled in English, it does not look like it sounds.
Like it's really easy for me to learn like Antetokounmpo or Wembanyama, but then like when the letters don't mean what they say, that's what gets me for a while.
Yeah, his name is said like it's spelled Zubats. It's like Zubats.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, I think this roster is going to be really good, and what is their record? Are they 2-4 or something? Like they don't have a good record yet, but I mean, they've had 2 games without any of their 3 best players, so it's kind of expected that they're not going to be great yet.
It was so funny when Kawhi came in for his first like minutes and he just hit like 2 Kawhi shots right off the bat. Just gonna go mid range and I'm just gonna shoot it from really high up in my release and make them.
So good. Like first play, he comes in, rebound, straight up the court transition, just mid range cash. I was so
literally looked like he was playing pickup. Like he got the ball and they just went down. He's like, all right, it's 2-0. Like it was so casual.
Like it looks like he looks exactly the same as he did a year and a half ago when he was playing. So
maybe that's because you're actually supposed to rehab to 100%, and he understands that. And most players are like, no, I could play now.
Maybe that's what's going on with Ben Simmons because I don't know like what happened to his back? Like, how did? Because they said sore back all last season, and then suddenly
Like
he has like a
sore,
herniated disc.
sore is like, oh, it's sore. Not I have an injury. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, like I worked out wrong, or like I was hurt and now it's sore. But like sore the whole year, like you're hurt.
Yeah, because like during the like after a trade, you have to go through a physical, right? So did they not test his back? Like, I don't.
No, they did. That's when they said he had like a disc, right? Didn't they say he had a disc? That's why he didn't
Well,
play.
the
That was
I don't remember. I don't know. If they said he had a disc, I didn't hear that. But the treatment that he got, the procedure, is for a slipped disc or a herniated disc. Like that's normally why you get that treatment. Maybe he got it for something else, but like I don't know. I don't know what his injury is.
I remember on the podcast with JJ, he said he was running up the stairs and he felt like he like that's when he slipped his disc running up the stairs. And he said like his whole left side went like numb or something.
Bro, didn't freaking like I feel like the physical stuff is sketchy. Cause like didn't Karis LeVert like get traded to the Pacers and then like found out he had cancer once he got there? Like last year, and he literally beat cancer like mid season and then kept playing. I was like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Like he had a tumor removed or something.
Wait, he was traded to
the Cavs. Traded to the Cavs.
Okay.
Oh yeah, he was. Wait, he was on the Nets, wasn't he?
Yeah, the Nets had him, KD.
You're right. Pacers, and then he got traded to the Cavs.
He was on the Pacers last year, and then the Cavs now.
Okay. Yeah, he's been on a bunch of teams actually.
The Cavs low-key got a little squad. I'm not even gonna lie, bro. They got Jarrett Allen, Donovan Mitchell, Darius Garland, Karis LeVert.
Evan Mobley too. Evan Mobley,
yeah. That guy's
pretty
insane.
well starting off the season.
Yeah, he's not really scoring, but I think it's Donovan Mitchell. I think Donovan Mitchell just doesn't like passing to big men.
Dude, they were feeding Gobert, bro. When I tell you they were feeding Gobert in Minnesota, they were feeding him. I think you're right. He just
like Gobert has had 2 20-point games this season. I don't remember if he scored 20 points a game last season.
No, bro, he had 20 and 20 last night.
I feel like if Donovan Mitchell like wasn't as likable and like you can't hate a guard that gives his all every playoff for the Jazz and loses. He just seems likable. If he was like on the Lakers or something and was like doing the shooting, he was the least efficient guard in terms of scoring in the whole NBA last year. And no one says anything about that. They're like, oh, he can score, he can shoot. I'm like, he can shoot the ball, he can get shots off, but he won't pass it. And it looks like Gobert, looks like he was Mitchell was the problem. So I mean, what is going on in Utah? It was a good idea for them to blow it up, it sounds like.
Yeah, like Gobert and Mitchell clearly did not like playing together, and Utah actually looks probably annoying to Utah pretty good. Like, I don't think they want to win, but their team looks kind of good.
And so in about January, they're going to be like, all right, it's time. And they're going to start losing at a rapid pace, I promise you. 8-9 losing win streaks for like 8-9 games, lose, they'll win a game, maybe win another one, and then they'll lose 10 straight, I promise you.
It's not a bad idea, because if they are doing that, Markkanen, Conley, and who else do they? I don't even know who else. But Markkanen and Conley, they're going to be so valuable on the trade market come trade deadline.
Yeah.
I like Lowry. Markkanen. I think he got better over.
My mic broken again.
Who do you play? Who do you play for? I think he played for Denmark, but he was playing against Giannis, Luka, and all them. I think he got better this year.
Yeah.
I think my mic isn't working.
Oh.
Oh no. Hi, John.
Balls. Okay.
Let's go. He's back.
Woo.
All right, let's move along. Did we talk about cookies the last episode? The best type of cookie? I don't even know where that topic came from. And you had a debate topic though. You sent in the chat before this, right? Said something.
I just said let's throw. Let me see. I think I said something about fantasy, and then I said let's do a
Oh,
let's do a draft.
Kawhi versus Ben. Which player is having a worse start?
Yeah.
I mean,
I said Kawhi. I said, how are you gonna come back after a year and a half? Like, I don't want him to come back until he's 100% healthy. But then again, Brian said he did come back 100% healthy. He's just hurt still. I don't know.
And
would
you rather your player be 100% healthy and bad, or like 100% healthy and really good, but like doesn't play every game to
I
start?
want him to be 100% bad and play every game.
Really? Okay. I wouldn't play him any games if he was 100% bad.
Think about it. Like, how can you be consistent? At least you know with Ben, you're like, I know what I'm getting. He's not playing well right now, but I know I'm going to get from him. I know I'm going to get passing. I know I'm going to get rebounds. But Kawhi, like, dude, the dude's in and out of the lineup. Like, what am I going to do? One day I'm playing the Lakers and Kawhi plays 10 minutes. And tomorrow I'm going to play the Jazz on a back-to-back. He's not going to play. And now I have to play Luke Kennard 30 minutes.
I think what you get. You're consistently getting a guy that's not going to be consistent. That's not going to play every night with Kawhi. You know that. He's done that his whole career.
And I think Kawhi, so Kawhi is not consistently playing, no, but they know when he's not playing. Ben Simmons, you don't know, like now you know, but you didn't know he was only going to shoot the ball 5 times a game going into the season.
He airballed a layup.
Wait, so who won the trade? The Sixers?
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
he was never going to play for them again. So, like, it was a really good trade for them because they were never going to get another minute from him.
They definitely won that trade. I mean, who knows? Maybe Ben Simmons, like midway through the season, starts shooting, 12 shots a game and starts like driving and playing some better defense. But right now, that guy looks like he's done. Like he doesn't deserve to be on the court.
I definitely think that Kawhi is having a better start than Ben, but we can disagree on that.
And you know what I think. You know what I think.
Yeah, I think Ant's just trying to take the opposite side.
On a little bit.
He's trying to get back on therapy, man. Brian had me confused for a while, and I really thought I hated it. But I'm back, man. I'm talking to my therapist, and Ben's doing good. We're doing good over here. We're all right.
For y'all that don't know, we had a bet. It was who's gonna win, the Lakers or the Clippers, and I chose the Clippers. Ant chose the Lakers, and the bet was, if the Clippers win, he had to hate on Ben Simmons for 2 games. And if the Lakers won, I had to praise Ben Simmons for 2 games. And I won the bet. So
I really wish that Ant had won the bet, because Brian be so creative with the ways he would like he would like say it was good, but it would be a slight. He'd be like, wow, Ben made a layup. That was really amazing for him to actually make a layup. That was a good job, Ben. Like, that's not a compliment.
At backhanded compliments.
Yeah.
And Ben had the 2 games that I watched, he's like he can't guard a foot. Like he's getting scored on. Like
can't guard a foot.
Yeah, bro, because he was just playing bad. Like I was hoping maybe he scores 20 in that game. Like Brian, there's not much bad to say, But of course he stunk up the joint.
All right, let's move on to Fantasy Land. This segment is our time to update y'all on fantasy football, NFL news, and Commander talk. The Commanders play the Colts this week. Brian, how do you feel about this matchup? The Colts are a 2.5 favorite, even though they are starting this guy Sam Ehlinger that really has never proven himself past the college level.
So this game, I actually do think that we have a better chance to win with Heineke than we do with Wentz. Heineke knows that Terry McLaurin is on the field, which is that alone puts him above Carson Wentz. Because for some reason, Carson Wentz just didn't throw the ball to Terry McLaurin, and Terry McLaurin is probably our best player. So even if he's only a little open, just throw him the ball. That 3rd down conversion last week where he just threw the ball to Terry McLaurin, and he wasn't even really open, but he caught it. You have to do that. With great receivers, sometimes you have to just trust them and just throw them the ball. Yeah. And he does that, which is good. And Heineke is mobile. He's not going to hold the ball too long like Wentz does. And Wentz thinks he's mobile and can escape sacks, but he's not anymore. So I think Heineke's better than Wentz for sure. I still want us to try Sam Howell just because I don't think overall this season is going to go that well for us, but I just want to see if Sam Howell's good.
But what should we do if he's not good?
Like the thing is, if he's not good, we just draft someone else. I think the best way in the NFL to find a good quarterback is just draft a quarterback, let him play 16 games or 17 games. Just let him play all 17 games. Be like, we're not gonna bench you. Doesn't matter how many interceptions you throw. Go out there, play every game. Just try to do what you can. We'll see if you're good. Give him 17 games. If you don't see like at least promise after 17 games, just draft a new guy.
I don't want promise. I want results too, because promise is so dangerous. Because promise is like, oh, you could just have a quarterback that's fast or a quarterback that like loves to take chances, and you're like, oh, but remember that game he threw for 450 yards? You're like, yeah, but the other games he had like a 60 QB rating.
Yeah, like I agree. Promise is dangerous because everyone thought Baker Mayfield was promising, and now we're seeing Baker Mayfield might be worse than Sam Darnold. Like
Yeah.
that guy's not good. So, like, I think, but at least something that you can look at and be like, okay, this guy might be good. Like, if he can't show you something like that over 17 games, like even if it's his first year, you probably just cut him. Like the Bills did that with Josh Allen. They drafted EJ Manuel like a year or two before Josh Allen. They let him play one season. He wasn't good. They drafted Josh Allen, let him play a full season, and he wasn't that good. And then the second year, he was good. So, like, I feel like if you just keep drafting quarterbacks, let them play immediately, eventually you'll find someone. Like, because we've been just throwing like grasping at straws for the last like two decades outside of that year where we drafted Robert Griffin and Kirk Cousins in the same draft, which honestly didn't even make sense, but both of them were good. So
it seems easy. It seems like we could just have a guy that is a scout and he'll go, oh, here's a tall quarterback that can move and can throw the ball well. We're going to draft him, because that's literally what the Bills did. Like, and then Josh Allen like wasn't that good, and then he's really good. Like if you can just get a tall quarterback that can throw over your line, can extend plays, and like throw on target like that, it seems like you could get that. And you can teach a lot of other things, but like if you have those things, they'll probably be pretty good, I feel like.
Yeah, just draft a guy with a good arm who can move and isn't like I don't think you should draft like Kyler Murray, because
even though I would love to have Kyler Murray right now.
I would too. Like if the Commanders had Kyler Murray, I would be so happy. But I don't think it's a good idea to draft quarterbacks under 6 foot in general. But like if you get a guy that's like 6'1" and up, kind of fast, he doesn't even need to be like super fast, just kind of fast and could throw like far. That's just draft him, let him play, see if he's good. That's what I think.
That's Sam Howell too, because he's all those things.
Yeah, I mean, if Sam like just try. Like I don't understand why, because Heineke, like even if he's good, he's like 30 years old, and this is like his second year starting. Like how much more of a ceiling does he have? Like this is probably as good as he'll ever be.
He's
so,
6'1" at.
Yeah, like he's like from a talent profile, he's average. His arm strength isn't that good. He's more accurate than Wentz. Well, that's good. But yeah, in terms of this week, I don't know. I've never seen this other quarterback play. I don't know if he's good, but they also have Jonathan Taylor, who's had a bad year so far. I feel like this is going to be his bounce back week because our defense isn't very good. I think it'll be a close game, but I think we'll actually win this game.
I think so too, bro. I'm seeing an upward trend for the Commanders. I think every week I've said I think we're gonna win. So like, if we can win 2 more games in a row, I'll be 500 on the year, which ain't bad because I'm against the spread most of the time when I'm saying we're gonna win. I don't think we've been the favorite. Maybe one time we've been the favorite. So,
yeah, I think us not being the favorite in this game is honestly a little disrespectful because the Colts are pretty bad.
Yeah, they literally just have Jonathan Taylor. I'm not sure I could name another Colts player.
I have Michael Pittman on my roster, and other than that, I don't think I can name one either.
What happened to T.Y. Hilton? Is he out of the league?
I think he just kind of phased out. Like slowly got less and less targets, and then like you would need to pay him more than he's worth.
I don't know. Is he? Yeah, he's out of the league. Wow. Oh.
He was like amazing for like 1 year.
Yeah, that's how I was like.
Like, he was up and coming, and then amazing, and then when they needed him the most, he vanished.
He was so fast, and then just 1 year.
Oh, that's Michael Pittman. They got Michael Pittman.
Yeah, that's a guy on my
Wait,
fantasy.
was Andrew Luck with T.Y. Hilton?
I
That
think
might
that's
be why he was so good, because Andrew Luck was amazing.
I didn't want to say it, but yeah, I think that's why he was really good. That's why what's his name? Dallas Clark. He was their tight end when Andrew Luck was there too. He was really good at that time too.
Like Peyton Manning left the Colts and they won like 1 game or 2 games, and then they brought in Andrew Luck. He had a rough rookie year, and then they were like one of the top teams, just like they were like 10-win teams every year.
Yeah, and they did not have anything else. It was
it's
crazy. Like that draft, there was both Andrew Luck and Robert Griffin. Those were 1 and 2. None of those players are even playing anymore.
And like, they were both like really good, kind of.
They were both great players, and then they both just
injuries.
It's crazy.
Andrew Luck made the right decision too. I saw an interview of him recently, and he was like talking, and he seemed so happy, and he was like smiling a ton, and I was like, yeah, that dude didn't like where his life was going towards, because like he was like, bro, he just kept getting worse and worse concussions, and the doctors were like, you're gonna have to sit out like 2 months this time, and it was getting worse and worse, and he's like, I have a bunch of money, like why would I keep playing when like he said that it was so painful, the recovery from the concussions every time, and like he was just constantly in pain, headaches, all this stuff, and he's like, why would I put myself through this and my family through this? Like if I get a couple more, like it'd be really bad.
He had a lot of he had injuries on his body too. Like he had like his legs and his arms a couple times. Like
it just
he's
sounds
pretty
funny the way you're saying it. His legs and arms and chest and thighs.
he got hurt a lot.
He's in a wheelchair. Like, oh my god.
It's like the guy from that SpongeBob when they're trying to sell chocolate or something, and he's like, oh yeah, in the morning I break both of my legs and then I break both of my arms filling a glass of water. Like,
yeah, he had a lot of injuries. So he's like the anti-Tom Brady. Like he's like, you know what? I'm gonna retire at year 7 to be with my family. Tom Brady's like, you know what? At year 21, I'm going to leave my family for the NFL.
I have some news on. We'll jump to that because we were talking about Heineke. We could maybe touch on Wilson, but Brady. So Mike Florio came on Part of My Take and said this. No one else had really put it together yet, but like, so you know how Tom was supposed to go to the Dolphins and then he didn't because of that whole like investigation with the like them, their like racism in the organization. So Tom Brady had tampered, saying like, if you fire this coach, I will come there and you got to hire like these people and I will come, which is very illegal. You can't do that. And he didn't get in trouble though, of course, because it's Tom Brady. And apparently Giselle like figured out that, and he had never told her a single thing about moving to Miami to play for Miami, and so she was like completely out of the loop, and so she was pissed about that. And then he came back, and then he retired the next year, came back and played another one instead of retiring, and she was just like, I've had enough. I'm imagining that's exactly like why, and he's just stuck, and now he sucks too. I almost feel bad for him because he's not even playing well, and I feel like he's like, I had the perfect life. He literally last summer had the perfect life, or like after he won that Super Bowl, perfect life. Just retire.
Yeah, like the thing is, he had a contract to make more money doing broadcasting than he would have made if he kept playing, and he had a family. Like I mean, maybe he didn't like his family. Maybe that's really the end of all this. But like, he had a very like seemingly really good family. Like I think he has 2 kids, a literal Victoria's Secret model wife. Like, I don't know why you would give that up to play another year at 45 years old. It doesn't make any sense to me. It's just weird.
He was the number 1 ranked player like by his peers, right? So you go out number 1, got a wife and kids. Yeah, you didn't win the Super Bowl last year, but like you came back and almost won the game. Like, go out like that, cool. Now you're a loser with no family. And your offensive line sucks.
Bro, it was really hard it was getting really difficult for me to like defend my like Tom Brady sucks takes when he went to the Bucks and then won a Super Bowl like the first year. Was that the first year he was there? It was getting
Yeah.
really difficult for me to fight off the Tom Brady lovers because I'm like, I'm running out of things to say. It's not the Patriots because he came to the Bucks and they looked amazing.
Yeah.
And he's made it a lot easier now. There's so I can hate on him personally, I can hate on him professionally now. Like he really maybe he did this for us because he felt bad about all the Patriots haters and like we never got to hate on him and this is our time.
Honestly, I love that take. That's maybe the best take I've ever heard. Maybe he really did this for the haters, and the haters we're eating right now. Thank you, Tom.
He destroyed his family for us, bro, because he's such a good guy.
And the best part about it is he's throwing tantrums on the field. He's screaming like every game. He's like, "Why isn't this working?" It's like because you're 45 years old, Tom. That's why.
7 iPads.
Bro,
like-
did you see there was a video, it was like literally 4 seconds long. It was him just sitting on the bench like look so pissed, and there's a tablet behind his back, and you just see a hand reach in the frame and like pull the tablet away. It's so funny. Like some like interns like it's my job to make sure he doesn't break any tablets. I gotta get this thing.
It's like Brady, come on. There's a chip shortage, man. We can't keep bringing these tablets.
Yeah. Jeez.
Running out.
And I don't know if you saw this about Dan Snyder. Like, do you see him threatening to just unleash a bunch of dirt on the entire league? If Dan Snyder, the Commanders owner, he was like, I have a bunch of dirt on everybody, and if you say something about all the illegal things that I do, I will unleash this. I'm like, bro, how much power can a man have? He's all but admitting to doing whatever you're investigating him for and worse.
Exactly.
But we just can't do anything because money.
I'm so like confused about Dan Snyder's situation because it seems like he ran a prostitution ring with the with the Commanders cheerleaders. Like how is that? How is he's actually just above the law at this point? Like
How are you still in power?
yeah, like how has he not lost anything? I don't get it.
I don't know. Like he's like, oh, I'm gonna need hard evidence. I'm like, how do we? It seems like we have it, and like it's just not coming out for some reason.
Did he just pay everyone off? Like, did he pay off all of the ex-cheerleaders?
He paid the U.S. government. He paid off the U.S. government. He's like, you guys got some debt, huh?
Like, yeah, seriously. He's like, I can help with that. I don't know. I guess it's just like money really does make you immune from this stuff. Because like even like Antonio Brown, like how is he not in jail? I don't get how this stuff happens and these people just nothing happens to them. They're just okay. Like
I think, bro, for Antonio Brown, I feel like he's so crazy that people are like less threatened because he doesn't ever like make a good point when he talks. Like there'll be so many times and he'll like someone will say something to him and he'll be like disgusted, offended, and I'm like, okay, he's about to like say why they're wrong, and he doesn't ever make a single point. I'm like, whatever. So that's why I feel like people just aren't threatened by him. They're like, this guy is crazy and no one will believe him, versus a guy like Alex Jones that like tries, obviously he's crazy too, but he tries to make sense out of stuff and is harmful and the stuff that he said. You know, that guy, he's getting sued for $1 billion, Alex Jones.
Yeah, I do know.
Like that guy is such a bad person, bro.
And it's for the worst reason too. Like I've never actually watched his show, but like he's getting sued because there were children in a school shooting, and he was like essentially like talking to their families, being like, "This didn't happen. You're all actors." Like he was saying that to their families, and I was like, "How? Like, is that even for the show at this point?"
And
like,
he doxed one of the family's addresses, and so. And like he has intense like cult like following, and so they were going after the family like because he was calling them like pieces of garbage for faking a school shooting. Because obviously, if a school shooting was fake, that would be really bad. So he's acting like they 100% were, and so all these people are like believing him and like going after the family. I'm like, bro, they literally lost like their 6-year-old child, and you're like mocking them and like attacking them for it. Like, and so he's getting sued for. I think he's worth like 1 million, and he's getting sued for 1 billion. So he's never gonna have another penny.
Yeah, like he needs to be sued for that too, because
Yeah.
that's just unbelievable. Like, I don't care what your political affiliation is. Like,
Yeah.
you can't. That's just like an evil person.
Yeah.
But
And he knew this is the last thing on him. He knew he was lying too. Like, the reason he lost the case is because his lawyer accidentally sent his entire thread of messages to the other lawyer, which maybe he did it on purpose. I don't know. But apparently he accidentally did that. He was trying to send it to like his colleague, and he sent it to the defendant's or the accuser's lawyer, and all the texts were like pretty much him saying he knows that it happened, but he's like doing it for money. And so all that came out and was like, you're never gonna have another dollar after this.
I saw that, and the crazier part about that is the lawyer accidentally sent it to the other lawyer, and because of how like evidence works in law, like the other lawyer has to inform the guy. He's like, "Did you mean to send this to us? I'm going to use this." And that lawyer that accidentally sent it never responded, so it became allowed to use.
Bro, he probably's like, I don't want to be the guy. I'm not gonna win this suit anyway. I don't want to be the guy that defended Alex Jones. But anyway, that was like probably the most random topic we've ever jumped to in a podcast. You want to jump to Haters Corner? I can introduce us into that if you have one this week.
Yeah.
All right, Haters Corner. This segment is VVS's time to do what he does best: expose people, things, and places, and give them their well-deserved hate. VVS, who should we hate this week?
Okay, so we've already talked about him a bunch, but I have to have him on the Haters Corner as our first podcast since the NBA season has returned, and it's Ben Simmons. Is anyone surprised? Not at all. But we need to go more in depth about why Ben Simmons has been so bad this season. So we all know that Ben Simmons is a terrible shooter. He's always been a terrible shooter. Every offseason he tries to trick us and think he's gonna shoot threes. He's never gonna shoot threes. He's just afraid at this point. But we knew that. Now Ben Simmons is a terrible scorer. He's averaging like 5 shot attempts per game, which is like comically low. Like, I don't know if any starter in the NBA averages less than that. I need to actually look that up to see. But the main reason that I think Ben Simmons has been so bad this season is because of his defense. Like, Ben Simmons has been touted as this like amazing defensive player for the entirety of his career. And now he comes back and they're like, oh, he's going to fix the next defensive problems. That's how they're going to win. The Nets are currently dead last in defensive rating. They're allowing, I don't remember if it was actually defensive rating or points per game that I looked at, but they're allowing 120 points per game or defensive rating. So it's like, it's bad. It's really bad. It's literally the worst in the NBA. 30 out of 30 worst in the NBA. And Ben Simmons, like, on defense, if you watch the games, Steve Nash, maybe this is a mistake on his part, but he's like putting Ben Simmons on the best offensive player. I think he figures that Ben Simmons is not going to be useful on their offense, so he's like, okay, we'll just let you lock up their offensive player. Ben Simmons, so far, I need to look at this because I don't remember exactly who they've played so far, but let me just pull up the stats. Ben Simmons, so their first game of the season, they played against the Pelicans. He was on Zion. He fouled out in, I think, 20 minutes, and Zion had 25 points. That's the highest Zion scored so far this season.
Okay.
The second game of the season, they played against the Raptors. They put Ben Simmons on Pascal Siakam. Pascal had 37, 12, and 11 on Ben Simmons. And they won the game, though. They did win that game, but Pascal had 37, 12, and 11, and Ben Simmons had 5 fouls. He was in foul trouble most of the game. Third game, they're against the Grizzlies. They put Ben Simmons on Ja Morant, which I think isn't a good matchup to begin with. Ja Morant has 38, 8, and 7. They lose by 10. Fourth game, they play against the Bucks. They put Ben Simmons on Giannis. Giannis has 43, 14, and 5. They lose by 11. And then
Giannis had 1 too small after he bodied him. That's the worst.
He never trash talks. Too small Ben Simmons after he bodied him in the paint. 5th game of the season. They play against the Mavs. They put Ben Simmons on Luka. Luka Doncic has 41, 11, and 14. They lose. Like,
It's hard to defend that.
And in these last 2 games, he had 4 fouls in each game. Like, just there is no positive impact so far from Ben Simmons. It's been purely negative. And like, even his plus minus. Let's see, what's Ben Simmons plus minus? Because I know in the other games it was worse than all the other starters. Let's see. What is his plus minus so far? His plus minus so far this year is they don't have this on Basketball Reference. That's weird.
They might have it on.
Yeah, they might have it in just his like stats played. You can just look at it for each game.
Oh, okay. They don't have it for the year. Hold on. I should
Or
have
just
It's probably, I'm gonna guess it's like minus 12.
let's just say minus 17. Good call, John.
It's minus 17.
Not
Oh no, you were saying
guessing.
That would be my guess.
Let's see.
Game
Ben Simmons
log.
plus minus. Where is?
Bro, they really be hiding it. Maybe
Okay.
maybe they don't want you to know.
So okay, so game 1, Ben Simmons was negative 26. Game 2, negative 3. Game 3, negative 17, and then the last game 2 was plus 2, plus 1. So he's been, what is that? Negative almost 50 so far this season in plus minus.
Well, if your team's losing though, everyone's plus minus is probably not very good.
Yeah, I don't think plus minus is the best like metric for an overall player's performance, but his plus minus is indicative of his play. Like it's I need to look at it comparative to his teammates. I should have looked that up before, but I just wanted to point out how much the best player on the other team is having like best game of the season so far against this team every time.
And like his whole thing was like for Ben Simmons is like he can distribute, like create offense, and he can defend. And it doesn't seem like he can do either of those. I will say though, like so the defensive rating I'm looking on NBA is based on just like how many points you allowed. It's not like they don't consider other things. Like it's just you allow this many points to the worst defensive team, which isn't really true because like if you shoot a lot, there's the other team's gonna have more shots because like if you shoot early in the shot clock, there's just more possessions. Like your team scores more and they score more. But this is a weird stat too. They're second in the NBA in blocked shots, the Nets. So like that's my only angle here to defend poor Ben Simmons is he you know he's blocking a lot of shots, bro. We just got to get the rebound.
I think that to Brian's point, yes, he is like playing really bad, but like they shouldn't be 30th. I think is what Brian's point is.
They're actually 29th now. 30th is Ants Pistons.
Okay, so they climbed by not playing.
Why do you say it like that? Like they got out of a hole. Like no, they're still in it. But yeah, I agree. They should be 30. I mean, they weren't 30th last year. I don't believe. If you want to look that up, but yeah, I don't think that he should have definitely brought more to the table. But again, like you can't have. This is my only gripe. It's early in the season, yes. Like, what do you expect someone who hasn't played in that long to go against Zion, Pascal? I mean, Pascal now, I guess we wouldn't say like top tier, but again,
if you can't guard Pascal though, like and make him not have a great game, then maybe you're not that defensive player of the year candidate that people talk about you as.
That's my only gripe. I think that's the part where I'm like, because I did say, okay, like these superstar players, like he's not gonna be able to guard them for sure, right? Giannis, Luka, Zion, yeah. But Pascal, they're about the same tier as at least we would think, right? Like if Bennett has peaked, they're the same player.
Yeah.
So I feel like you should be able to guard him, and if you can't, or make him have an off day, then come on now.
Yeah,
he isn't what we thought he was, and maybe that's just early in the season, like I said. But
the reason that defensive rating doesn't mean that much is this stat I'm about to tell you. Who Who do you think the second best defensive team in the NBA is?
It's the Lakers.
The Lakers.
They are though. Like they're playing good defense.
That's
They just
the thing,
can't shoot, bro.
They just can't score.
That's so crazy. Are we the only team with like another bad team is the Magic 1-5 and they're 12th though, which like isn't that high, and then the Kings are near. How are we like the best defensive team other than the Bucks, who we haven't even played, and we're 0-5? That doesn't make any sense. I guess it's because our shooting, and then the other team doesn't score, but we definitely don't score because we shoot threes.
Yeah. Like the Lakers are blocking shots, getting steals, but they're just not converting on the other end. They literally aren't.
I mean, I guess Pat Bev really is a good defender because, like, it shows in the defensive rating. Like, the teams he's on, their defensive rating goes up.
Yeah,
so
and I think being a good defender in the NBA now is like being able to communicate and get guys to understand the defensive scheme more. Obviously, you got to be able to guard on ball, but I think that's more of an optics thing than anything. Like, oh, you plucked Ja, like, cool, like you got 2 points, but like there's 47 other minutes happening in the game.
yeah,
But,
I think it's definitely a combination of like on ball and team defense, but team defense is more important. I agree. Like, because really, like, all these guys are giving Ben Simmons buckets, but like Luka probably shouldn't score 42, but he's gonna score 30. Like, it's gonna happen.
I think people are understanding the importance of Team D and like an anchor now. Like people like DeAndre Ayton, Robert Williams, the dude for the Cavs, Jared Allen, like they have such a big impact on games, and I think that's why like the mid range is coming back. Like you see Luka, CP3. I mean, he's always had mid range game, but like I feel like a lot of players are starting to shoot mid range now because they get by their initial defender, and then there's an anchor there that's going to block, and so they just pull up mid range.
So I think I said this in the chat yesterday or the other day, but did y'all see Luke Cornett, what he was doing?
Yeah. But he's like contesting shot 3-pointers from under the rim.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. I saw a clip of that today.
That was so good. And the guy who was shooting missed both of the threes, and I was like, "Wait, does this work?" Like, is this
I don't think that is causation at all. I think he just missed the shot. Because like half the time, if you shoot a contested 3, I mean, maybe it's less likely slightly. I don't know, but like I think I'd rather my big man be boxing out, not like contesting from from the block. Like find your man and put a body on him. Don't contest that, and you can't box your man out.
Maybe it worked just out of shock factor. Like he went up for the shot, and he was like, "What?"
He's like, is he about to goaltend me? And it's funny about Cornette because he didn't jump high at all. Like he just got like his hands higher than the rim. Like if Giannis did it, I'd be like, I can't see the whole hoop.
Yeah.
Or Wembanyama, bro, if he did it, I imagine his reach is pretty crazy high when he tries.
I can't wait for Wembanyama to get to the league. I want to see him play bad against NBA players.
I'm still mad excited about Chet, bro. He's like the biggest, like, what is this guy? Is he gonna? Because I really don't know that he's good yet. Like, I know people like saw he was amazing in college or whatever, did really well in the summer league, but I'm still just like I've just seen so many guys that we're so high on and they're not great.
He's just, the problem is Pokuševski he's like the same thing, just worse. So like, is Chet that much better than Pokuševski? Like,
I don't know. Just the fact that Chet is a really good like shot blocker, that's like makes me like, okay, yeah, because he talks trash. I like that too, that he's like a trash talker and can defend and score. I'm like, that's like tells me you have the swagger to be good in the NBA, because I think that's important too. Like Dame's probably the coolest NBA player, like in terms of just like no one makes fun of Dame ever, and he's never won anything, not even close. But there's like, nah, Dame's really cool. That guy hits game winners sometimes.
Yeah, Dame is ice cold. That guy is nice. But is Chet out for the full season? Have they confirmed that, or is he out to like?
I don't think they're even gonna try to play him. You know what they want.
Yeah, they think we're not noticing, but I've already noticed they're sitting either Giddey or Gilgeous every game. Like one of them sitting. They're never playing together anymore.
Yeah,
bro, I need to go to Giddey's TikTok because he be posting like funny like inside the team like type posts. I bet all his comments are like, "Are y'all tanking?" I feel like he could do like some. Nah, he would get in so much trouble if he did like some sound like suggesting it. But anyway. Well, cool. I think this has been like an hour and a half or so. I don't know when the last recording cut off because my mic broke. But anyway, thank you all for watching and listening. The Third Quarter Warriors are the best team ever, and we are the best podcast ever. New episodes every Monday. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at the Third Quarter Warriors. Peace.
Welcome to the third quarter, everybody.
What is this? What is going on right now?
I said, what the hell are you talking about?
What's my package look like? Yo!